Design Salvation, episode 46.
This is Design Salvation, your lifeline to better design with Dixie and Annie. Our mission is to share our conversation with you so we can all elevate our work and lifestyle. Welcome to the fold.
Hey, y'all, it's Dixie Stark.
And Annie Lundquist.
And we are Design Salvation.
We're here to dish about design.
Woo, we sure enough are.
And whatever else is going on.
We don't even know. We had a good drink today, though.
We had a good drink, sweetie.
To the point of, like, refills.
Well, we kind of ditched the original and went back to my standard.
Yes, we did.
Because it was a little too powerful.
I think what we'll do is we'll let everybody know the Queen Elizabeth version, yes, and then the Queen Annie version.
There we go.
Queen Anne. Ooh, the Queen Elizabeth and the Queen Anne version.
So we did Dubonnet.
Yes.
Which is aperitif from France. Yeah, it's aperitif. Yeah. And I was introduced to it in New York years ago when I was, a lot of you know, but I didn't start drinking till I was like 40. Just never interested in me. So
We're not sure what's wrong with you, but that's okay.
I was a really fussy drinker. And Deke and I were in New York and we went out. We walked to dinner. It was freezing cold. It was like 15 degrees. It was fabulous and bracing and kind of yummy.
What time of year?
Oh, January.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we went to, I think it was the Metropolitan Museum that has a restaurant bar thing.
I think the Met does have a place. Yeah.
I think it was the Met.
I haven't been there in so long.
Gosh, it's really embarrassing that I don't know. Anyway, Deke asked the bartender, hey, my wife isn't really a drinker, but we need to find something that she likes. And we keep spending $15, $20 in New York on drinks that she hates because she can taste the alcohol. What do you have? And he said, oh, I have the easiest thing. Have you ever had Dubonnet? And I said, no. And he said, well, let me bring you a Dubonnet and soda and we'll see if you like it.
Ugh. And it's the best.
It's the best. And I drank it for years and years until I found Lillet, which is another aperitif that I absolutely love. So I drink more Lillet now. But Dubonnet is wonderful. I'm so glad that you resurrected it for us.
I'm saying, well, okay, so this is kind of the deal. I've noticed when we make our drinks that if we...
that we always use grapefruit?
Yeah, we always use grapefruit. We love grapefruit, or I love grapefruit for sure. And I'm kind of a grapefruit pusher. But anyways, what I've noticed is when you and I use two types of alcohol together, we are less fond of the beverage.
Yeah, it's true.
We actually like it when we have a nice kind of base that it has alcohol or whatever it may be, and then we kind of like start to pair it with some other lighter things. Mostly it's either tonic or mineral water, and mostly sparkling. I think we do better with that. So today what happened was we did Queen Elizabeth II's favorite drink before lunch, which happened to be Dubonnet and gin. And albeit we used really good gin, but
it
was strong. I can't imagine the Queen Mother drinking this before lunch. I'm like, oh my gosh.
She must have a long lunch period.
So confession is we dumped that in the sink after we fixed it. And then we went to Queen Anne, i.e. Annie's version, which happens to be just the mineral water with the Dubonnet. And it is so refreshing and light and really easy to drink and tasty.
Tasty.
Totally tasty. So anyways, but the reason I picked the Dubonnet for today, and I have to say I'm the one that picked the Dubonnet, is because when I read in our book club book, the Drinking French.
Yes.
By
David Leibowitz.
Yes. David starts his story with the Queen liking this particular aperitif paired with gin. Then he goes on to say that France had some great leftover ads in the, billboards and what have you that are on the sides of buildings and what have you. But he went on to say that at one point, Dubonnet wanted to make a big push in North America. And so they hired Farrah Fawcett and Tom Selleck to do an ad. And the reason I picked the Dubonnet is because Annie has a Farrah story.
I do have
and
a
I've
Farrah
heard
story.
it. And I'm like, okay, wait. We have to do the Dubonnet. We have to link to the Farrah and Tom Selleck advertisement. And then Annie, you have to tell your story about Farrah Fawcett.
Okay. But I will say, I think those are the weirdest choices in the world for Dubonnet.
They are,
and for France.
aren't they? And the whole, if once you see the advertisement, it is odd.
Well, because Farrah is so
elegant and gorgeous.
No. She's not
She's
elegant.
not.
She's just California.
Oh, well, that's a good way to phrase it. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You see, I don't know because I never met her, but you have to tell the background in that you were like NCAA tennis squash woman, and everybody wanted to play you.
Well, at this
squash.
time, I was only about 14 years old. But
you were young.
But I played 5 hours of tennis a day, and I was a really serious junior tennis player. And
what year was this? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
Oh, honey, I don't know.
80s? 70s?
She was hot. She was a big deal. No, it must have been late
70s, like 79, something like that.
Ago.
79, 80s, something like that. Something like that. Yeah.
So exactly.
Look at you, you're blushing. I can see you're blushing.
So we had really good friends in Seattle, but he was actually a director in LA.
Who's he?
Cliff Bull.
Oh, okay.
And he was doing the $6 Million Man at the time. And the $6 Million Woman or Bionic Woman. And so when we would visit back and forth, because my bestie was his daughter.
Oh, nice.
And they moved back to LA. And so I would fly back and forth to see my bestie quite frequently.
Oh,
and the mom, Jill, of my bestie, the mom, she knew Farrah really well and would play tennis with her. Well, Farrah always wanted better and better opponents. So Jill said, well, listen, Annie girl's coming down. I'll set it up. You can play on the Van Patten's tennis court, from 8 is enough.
Gosh.
And
Look at you hobnobbing.
You know, right? So I show up to play Farrah, and I was blown away by her.
Oh, just by Farrah herself.
Oh, my goodness. She's like a creature from another planet. First of all, she drove up in a dark green Corvette.
I love this story.
I know, in the 70s, of course, which is just, it was so perfect. And it had monogrammed upholstery with FF all over it in a very Louis Vuitton kind of look that I still to this day want. I want upholstered, monogrammed.
So
car seats. I want them because of Farrah. Anyway, she pops out of here in the cutest little tennis outfit and those big white teeth. Would you remember those teeth?
I know. Her teeth were so white. Did she know about bleaching back then?
No, what she did.
Girl.
She was magnificent.
She wasn't drinking Dubonnet.
She wasn't drinking Dubonnet. And her hair was phenomenal. And she was sweet as could be. Now, my dad remembers that she actually she was very competitive and was not happy that she wasn't a particularly good tennis player. She thought she was.
Okay.
That I sort of smacked her behind me, but I didn't mean to. I was just doing my thing.
And you were 14.
I was 14, for God's sake.
Yeah, you weren't aware that.
But she was so glamorous, so over the top, so unreal. She was so unreal, y'all.
Okay, couple questions. I have to know about the monogram. Was it like, what kind of font? Was it just a block font?
So, yeah, it was a block font.
Okay.
And it literally, in my memory anyway, looked like that dark brown Louis Vuitton with the beige sort of background.
Ugh.
I mean, on the dark green Corvette.
It was dark green Corvette. Oh my gosh. Did she have any like T-tops or anything? Were they open?
I don't know.
You
That's
remember
a
her
good
just
question.
driving
I
up
just remember her, the hair, the teeth, and the monogram. Oh,
and she was
gosh.
sweet. And she was
sweet. Sweet as pie. Sweet as
pie.
My if gosh. Not a little too competitive.
Yeah.
And at the time she was married to Lee Majors.
Oh, she was at the time that you
I met him too, but that's another story.
Okay.
Not as charming.
Not as charming as she. Interesting.
Oh, no.
Well, my husband, of course, loved Farrah Fawcett. So when I came home after hanging out with you and I told him that story, he was just like, oh my gosh, he couldn't believe it. And then when I read The Drinking French, and then that tied into the Dubonnet ad. So apparently they used Farrah, and they were hoping that Dubonnet would take off in North America. And quite frankly, it really didn't. And that was in 1972. So I'm trying to put the timeline together. I think that was prior to you meeting her.
Yeah, it was.
By a long shot. By a long shot.
Probably,
yeah. So that's what I was trying to kind of figure out. But, we'll have to link everybody up on Instagram and everything to this. This is so much fun.
This is fun.
It is so much fun. But anyways, it's kind of interesting how things kind of come full circle and what have you. But if anybody gets the opportunity to go and get some Dubonnet, it's quite tasty.
It's great. Just pair it with soda and have a little aperitif and think of us.
Yeah, exactly.
And Farrah.
Exactly. And Tom. Well, so Lulu just called us on FaceTime.
She did.
That was fun.
That was super fun. She has...
Just a diversion, distraction, whatever you want to call it.
She has her first little singular solo design project.
Okay.
And it's very hip and current. I love it for her. So it's this young group of boys who go to school at Chapman, and they have started a clothing line. And they're...
Oh my gosh, how old are they?
Oh,
20s?
Her age, 20, 21.
Okay.
Yeah, 20, 21.
Good for them.
And they're very entrepreneurial.
I love the entrepreneurs.
I do too. And they, it's called Nice as Heck, which is really cute.
That's really cute.
And so at this point, it's a pretty small line, but they definitely have a vibe. And they want to do pop-ups here and there at different venues. And so they want a school bus retrofitted to be partly showroom, partly so they can
travel.
Kind
of like a band.
Kind of like a band.
That's
like
so
roadies.
Cool. They should go. Yeah, they're like roadies. They should go to all the like South by Southwest and all those kind of
when
like
it
cool.
Starts again.
Yeah, well, I know when it all starts again. But this concept is brilliant.
It's really cute. And Lulu was thrilled to be asked to help design the bus. And so she called us because she had just done her presentation.
Yeah.
And it was really fun to see how adrenalized she was.
She was all pumped up.
She was pumped up because they were so excited.
They liked everything she was doing.
They liked everything she showed. And it's these unconventional projects, I think, are sort of, they just really light your creativity up, and they're really, really fun.
It really is. I mean, that's like, converting some bus or
it's
other,
gonna be
other type
bus.
Of structure and making it something else. Like the conversion part of it, like it does stimulate your creativity.
Well, you've done that because you converted containers into a gorgeous showroom, and you have a award-winning video, Grammy?
No, I don't have any of that.
What award did that documentary?
We won a little documentary in one of the the Houston Documentary Film Festival
Oscar.
thing.
She won an Oscar.
Right, whatever. But it's just fun. These unconventional projects are kind of the highlight of our careers a lot of times.
I think so.
I mean, I love the jobs where, and we just were talking about it, where you have the most amazing opportunities to work on, just great acreage, or maybe it's an existing structure or something where you make it look like it has been there for 1,000,000 years, which so reminds me of your house. But these conversions and what I call convertibles.
You have a convertible.
Fun. Yeah, kind of.
Do you want to just touch on that?
Well, I've got one right now. I don't know that it's truly a convertible, but I'm actually working on a little restaurant that is going to be more of like a cantina. I can't disclose too much about the project, but where it's located and the type of structure that it's going to be is just going to be so stinking fun.
Oh, that's so cool,
So
Dix.
stinking fun.
I love
and
that.
Those are the projects that just shoot this complete adrenaline / stimulation.
Well, I was talking to one of our listeners the other day because she came into Red Ticking when we were doing a swirl.
Oh, yeah. You do the swirls all the time. Now, people don't know this, but well, they might know this, but you go down and you help Pam do all of her basically retail
staging, kind of whatever you call
it. And it's merchandising.
Re-merchandising.
It's merchandising. Yeah.
Well, she had sort of, the stores closed, obviously, because of
course.
The COVID, and she took everything out of the store, slammed it in her car on multiple trips because she's building a website, and it's actually up now.
Oh, great.
And so she had to take it to be photographed and da-da-da. So the store was completely disrupted.
So we just wrecked.
So she had me down and we kind of put it back together. Where was I going on this? Oh my gosh, I've completely lost my train of thought.
You were talking about unconventional projects.
Oh my gosh, I don't know where I'm going. Oh. So one of our little listeners who I adore happened to come by because she sews for Pam.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and she had done some vintage, gorgeous round pillows for her.
Lovely.
And so we were talking because we both love gardening, and she had taken her kids who are grown now, their dollhouse, playhouse, and converted it into a very chic, she painted it black with the girls' help and approval.
How
and
fun.
I think they kind of made like a little studio space out there. So that kind of thing. She was so jazzed about it.
Was it kind of like a folly? You know how you have garden follies?
I think so. I think
like a folly.
Kind of like a folly,
how
which
fun.
I would love a folly. Wish I had a little more room.
I could totally see a folly at your place, but you'd have to have probably a little bit more space.
I need the lot next door.
Yeah, you do. Tell those people you need that lot.
I need that lot.
I need that lot for my folly.
They have quite a few lots that they've put together in a very beautiful way, but so I can't have that lot. But I will say, but speaking of that, so I started a big gardening project.
Okay, let's talk about it.
And I thought it was going to be super straightforward because I have this north-facing piece of the property that's very mossy, and I have 4 square symmetrical beds with boxwood on the corners and, sort of very traditional.
Yes.
And I thought, why don't I finally rip up the moss because the lawn won't grow there.
Okay.
Put more of my crushed gravel.
Yes.
The white kind of creamy.
So pretty.
So pretty. And just brighten the place, raise the bed slightly, and replant.
Okay.
And so we started the Tellier and his cousin Jamesy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they ripped out all the moss. And as soon as you see the space, then, oh my gosh, my juices.
Then your mind started going. You got all the stimulation of this could be that or this or the other.
So I thought, maybe this wants to be something completely different. Maybe this wants to be a bocce ball court.
Are you going to do that?
I think we might.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
Because we always play out there. We take our ping pong table out there.
I know. You could have a whole tournament.
We could have a tournament that has like stages. Like you go from bocce to ping pong to, I don't know, come up with something else.
I don't know. Y'all were on TikTok the other day. That was hysterical. That was hysterical. The whole family doing the TikTok. I was like,
kids
my gosh, that's so funny.
Yes.
But see, here you go. You're converting what would be a flower bed or a typical garden installation into more of kind of a recreational space.
Yeah. And I love the process of when you start creating that it might morph into something else. And it's just good to embrace. I don't know if it's opening your mind to other possibilities or just embracing change and kind of flowing with it. Yeah.
Check. All of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think because we're staying home more.
Yes.
Obviously, it's
the possibilities become a little more real.
They do. They do. And I could see us all because in the evenings, of course, it's a little harder to fill your time. And I could just see us all out there.
That would
playing.
Be fun.
It'd be really fun.
Totally fun.
Playing.
Totally fun. Okay, so I just need this visual. When you're out in the garden, because I've come over to your house once when it was the winter time or something when you were actually in gardening mode. And you were beating the heck out of your boxwoods because you didn't want them,
The
and
snow
I saw
was all over them.
how cute you were dressed and everything. I was like, does she really dress like that all the time when she's actually, I've got to get a visual. What are you wearing?
I'm not cute. I'm kind of a hot mess.
I don't
wear
believe that.
My purple slip-on off plastic clogs. They're not
okay. You got your clogs on,
or my grubby gingham pink tree torns, which are not pink anymore, really. But those are really bad for my feet. So
I was just going to say, I see you in the clogs. Okay. And then what do you just wear like holy jeans or I mean a lot of people wear boots when they're
I don't wear
gardening.
boots. I don't because I'm running in and out of the house. So
okay. So you slip on, slip off. Yeah.
And then I wear my holy boyfriend jeans.
Nice.
That are always falling down.
Yeah, of course.
And then I wear whatever layers and rip them off and look just sloppy on
Do you
top.
have like one of those gardener either jackets or vests where you have different tools and stuff?
I don't have tools. I do have a jacket that I wear out there that's kind of like, army fatigue with big pockets.
You can put whatever you want to in it.
Yeah, I don't worry about that.
I think some of these things that you acquire over time that happen to be kind of like your go-tos and the way that you function, it's just, I'm curious about all that.
I have a lot of straw hats that I wear too.
To keep your keep your face shielded.
I do
which is
that.
Really good.
I have a lot of straw hats.
Yeah,
so
you shared a couple of straw hats with me. That's funny. You know that I have a confession.
When you traveled.
I have a confession.
Okay, good.
So, everybody that follows us on Instagram, which, by the way, if you don't follow us on Instagram, you should because Annie does the Instagram. It's really good. Okay, so anyways,
follow us.
Yes, please follow us on Instagram and all of the above. But anyways, we went to the nursery.
We went to the nursery. We went to Wells,
Is
Medina.
your stuff in the ground?
Yeah. You haven't planted yours yet.
I bought one. Because I was like, well, I don't know if this is going to look right, and I don't know if it's the right thing, and I think that maybe I need like 4.
Where are you thinking of putting it?
On the front of the house, where it gets shade, because I have the plant that I got. Oh, what's it called? Martini euphorbia. How
Euphorbia. Martini euphorbia.
Martini.
Okay, no, you need more like 8 to 12, sister. Come on.
Really?
Yes.
How big are they going to get? Like, are they going to get huge?
No, I mean, not huge. You can look on the little plant tag, sweetie.
I probably could and look at that. But anyways, I still haven't put it in the ground because I was sitting there going, well, how many do I need? And if I put this one in the ground, is it in the right place? And so I held off, and I have one plant that I came home with, and no, it's not in the ground yet.
Well, I should probably pick you up some more when I go home so you can really make that look gorgeous.
Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. I need to, transplant.
Well, you know what? I will do that because I'm going to go get a couple more of what you bought me for my birthday, which was some verbena and a little darling little ground cover geranium, one of the lower ones.
And does it look good?
It's adorable. It's more of a silver leaf, which I really love, the contrast.
I do too.
And then you also got me some salvia for my birthday.
Which is kind of fun.
I need some more of all of it.
Annie had a birthday.
But I'm a little schizo in the garden.
You are?
Yes. And it made me think, because I start working on this project, then I go to the next project. Then I'm a squirrel. Then I start pruning the tree, and then I'm blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But it made me think of, I don't know why, I wish I could focus more, and it made me think of the broken window theory, which we may have talked about before.
The broken window theory.
Talking about. Did you? That's not even a word. I said talking.
You said talking, just like me.
Oh, my Lord. Okay.
It's the Dubonnet talking.
Have spoken about before. And it made me think of a couple things. My schizo-ness is that I talk to myself in the garden all the time.
What?
I'm always talking and trying to plan, and I realize I'm talking in a really bad English accent.
Oh, you're so British.
I'm so British, and I'm like, this little plant wants to live here, and I think we need some compost. Because they don't always say compost. And I listen to all these English gardeners. So I'm walking around the garden with my little English accent, which is quite pathetic, and I'm sure not very highbrow.
Oh, they say pathetic all the time.
Do they say pathetic?
Uh-huh.
Yes, well.
Just like
And it reminded me of when Martha Stewart was a really big deal, and we all were consuming Martha Stewart stuff and watching her show and whatnot. I would read her magazine and hear her voice because it's very distinctive.
Yes, that's right.
Well, this is the same thing. I watch all these IG English gardeners on Instagram, and they're charming and delightful. And so I go out to my garden and think I'm one of them, even though I have no idea really what I'm doing.
You know what? Today it is the Queen's drink. It is your English accent. It's like all things British. That's
We're a little random today.
It doesn't matter.
But speaking of being a little all over the place, I asked Lulu the other day what I should focus on in the house because she keeps me on track.
This is fun. She keeps you on track. She's a young, inspiring, like fresh breath of air. She knows she's learning and being schooled in design and all those things. And it's like, she's a great sounding board.
She's a great sounding board. And I actually, every morning I say to her, what do you think I should do today? Because I'm so indecisive.
Right.
And she really can direct me and keep me focused. So
that's fun.
The thing she said to me today was...
Just this morning.
I think it was today or yesterday. I have such a bad memory, but... it was last night during happy hour.
Happy hour. Well, hey, you're forgiven. There you go.
So she said, fix what can be fixed. And it reminded me of the broken window theory because I am so easygoing, as my husband
You're very laid back.
And I let things go and go and go. I'm super laid back.
So is Dee.
Yes. And that's a problem. That's
well, it's a lovely trait to have, though.
Yes. But
because you put things in perspective that, does it really matter that the glass is broken? No. However, it's all about elevating. So I get it. Okay.
And so we can adapt a little too easily to things being broken or not quite working right. And I know a number of times I've had workers come into the house and say, oh my gosh, this is so great. You're restoring this old house. And it's like, no.
That's a compliment.
This is a newish house that we're trying to finish.
Yes.
So she says, finish the things that can be fixed easily. So for example, we do have some broken windows.
Right.
To be very clear, because the little Moblo Go guys come with their weed eaters close to the house, and our crushed marble
comes up and
and breaks the window. So we literally have 4 broken windows.
So she's like, fix what can be fixed.
That.
Well, I think that's a motto to our listeners. We're living a lot of times with things that could be restored, fixed, improved.
Yes, do it. Do it. I need to do it.
Yeah.
And then the other little example, this is kind of a confession.
Okay.
This is really pathetic. So back to pathetic.
Oh, it's so pathetic.
It's so pathetic.
You say it really well.
I have square cans.
I know, and I love the square cans because they are small squares. They're 4-inch?
Yes. If
3?
I think they're 3.5.
3.5.
So I have 3.5 square-inch cans, and I love them. But at the time we did it, it was 18 years ago, and we didn't use like the best sheetrock company.
Of course.
And they'd never done this before. So they didn't really do a great job.
They're used to round. Yeah. They're used
and
to
they gave us a lot of
getting
grief.
Close because back 18 years ago, the trim was much wider.
Yeah, there was a bigger baffle.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. These are sleek. These aren't the sleekest version. They do have a baffle. So.
Okay.
But they have tended to fall. They just fall out.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Just boom. Or if someone, the kids were upstairs jumping around upstairs.
Of course. Then they fall out on the main level.
Out on the floor. And we're just like, oh, and the ceiling's way up there. So you're kind of like,
I can't get to it right now. So be it. Yeah,
so
whatever.
I have missing baffles.
Well, you need fixed what can be fixed. That is our motto for the day.
That's our motto for the day. Fix what can be fixed. So
that's great advice from Lulu.
I thought so too. And then just a number of other little painted things that need to be taken care of. And
I think everybody always has those touch-up and things that could be addressed.
Good time to do
this is a great time while we're all at home and we're aware more than we would be. And I think that this, to give you a little bit of a hall pass, as we call it in our house, little hall pass, is that I think that our lives get so busy and we're not at home very much that it's very easy to dismiss or overlook or just be fine with the way it is. But now that we are at home and we have a greater awareness, let's take the time to address them.
Let's do it.
Let's
and also
do it.
on the smaller things, it's quite, Home Depot is one of the few places that's open. So
I'm saying Home Depot, Lowe's, those places are the few places, you're right, that are open.
Yeah.
And so we have an opportunity here to pay attention to those things. And a lot of us are, probably by this time, BORED.
Yes. So I think that's a good thing to tackle. And I appreciate
so important.
The focus. And
I think that is really important. I mean, we had quite a few confessions today.
We had quite a few. And I just want to end with, well, are we ending? I don't even know what time.
Yeah, we're definitely, we're getting
close?
on the verge. Why don't you end with something very profound?
I do. I have a quote.
Oh, you do?
And
okay, let's do it.
I'm sure some of you read it, probably, because my friend Pammy posted it, but I really liked it. It's by Young Pueblo. I don't know who that is.
Okay, that's fine.
But here it is.
Well, you know me. I never look at Instagram, so it's like, okay, I haven't heard it.
They asked her, what is real happiness?
Okay.
She answered, happiness is not fulfilling every pleasure or getting every outcome you desire. Happiness is being able to enjoy life with a peaceful mind that is not constantly craving for more. It is the inner peace that comes with embracing change. Not an easy concept to embrace change.
No, it's not an easy concept to embrace change. However, I will say, back to what you were talking about, you and Deke just being so relaxed and laid back and unaware of sometimes the little details, and we're preaching to everybody, fix what can be fixed and take the time to, do the things that you can do to elevate your life. I think there is some happiness in not letting those things just disrupt your life and worry you to death.
Yeah.
And that when you're working on things like that it's an enhancement of your life. But your true happiness comes from being, peaceful with what you have and where you're at and your family and your friends and all those things.
I agree. And I also think, there's just this new normal coming around.
It is a new normal.
That's hard for people. And I hope you can find your inner peace.
Your inner peace and your inner happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Noodle that for a little bit, you guys. Yeah. We'll talk to you next week. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
Hey, y'all. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also find us at designsalvation.com, where we'll have the past podcasts listed as well as show notes. Hope to see you there.